have you considered doing a podcast with Joe Rogan or More Plate Smart Aids? And if you expand the comments, he replies and he says, why doesn't Joe Rogan or Derek, me, invite Liver King? Love your support, Primal. Thank you for believing in me. I'm here to spread the message of the 9 ancestral tenets so that more great humans can dominate in life. Which reminds me, are you even eating liver yet? What's up, guys? Derek, moreplatesmartaids.com. Today we're going to be checking out Liver King. This guy has been exploding on social media since we first covered him. Well, he was exploding even back then. This was the first video I did on him in October. Liver King, way back in, this was only a few months ago, basically. He's 44 years old, by the way, and in here we basically went over his initial hype train that was building, and now the guy has surpassed, I don't know, I'm pretty sure he was at I don't even know if he was at 100,000 followers in this video. It was absurd. 60.3K. 60.3K, bro. So yeah, he's exploding. He's gained over 1 million subscribers or followers since then on Instagram. And, you can see why. The guy has an incredible physique. He's very, very, entertaining to watch too, because he has a lot of, infield footage of him just doing wild, weird shit. Like here he is sitting on a fucking giant tire with a chain, just like pulling a, what is this? You're pulling like a fucking, you're pulling your kid on plates. Now, obviously he gets a lot of heat for his equipment. Oh, it's his wife, never mind. Fucking doing shit with, modern equipment and doing things that are not congruent with the ancestral lifestyle. I'm pretty sure one of the funniest arguments about it is the fact that testosterone is actually synthesized using stigmasterol or soy. So kind of interesting and more counterintuitive and paradoxical to the whole ancestral living thing, whereby injecting exogenous hormones literally derived from the antithesis of what your diet model is surrounded around. But again, obviously he has not actually claimed that he's on gear, and this is sort of what the video is about and kind of what the whole, hype around him to begin with is because this guy is a natty athlete, so he claims, and it gains a lot of controversy and a lot of people think he's a liar. And more recently, he posted a pretty trolling video, kind of, making fun of the haters, so to speak. So here he is talking about his stack in the video, and as you could probably already tell, the guy is not actually going to go over his stack. Instead, he's going to tell you about, you'll see, dude, if you haven't already seen this. So here we go. He's about to tell us the stack. You see those 2 giant syringes filled with shit.
Liver King here. A bunch of primals keep asking if Liver King is natty or not. I decided to really face this head on and show you my stack. I stack liver and bone marrow every day. I stack the sun and the earth every day.
So, stacking, a common concept that is in, steroid use, bodybuilding world, stacking testosterone with other anabolics. So he's kind of making light of this, and, the fact that he knows what stacking is, does that, I don't know, it's definitely a term that is not necessarily, I guess naturals know what stacking is, so maybe this is, a bit out there to kind of infer anything, but throughout the video, he makes some interesting claims that you'll see.
I stack blood-burning workouts twice a day, every day.
So he works out twice a day and has the recovery capacity to make it happen and continue to, sustain this physique. And anyway.
And if you stack the 9 ancestral tenets, you too can express your most dominant form. And by the way, this was my cameraman idea, so tip of the hat to him. I don't even know where to get this stuff.
So was that even necessary to say? It almost tarnishes the credibility a little bit when you have to say by the way, this is my cameraman shit. He knows where to get needles. I don't even fucking know. What is this? Is this a needle? Is that the thing that steroid users put in their ass? Is this the injectable part right here? Or do you stick this plastic part up your butthole and then push it up? Or how's it work? He's just acting so ignorant to the whole thing to a point that's almost over the top, So it's kind of even if he was natural, like this, just like people who are examining body language are going to think like, huh, this is a tendency of something liars would do.
But I will tell you this is filled with maple syrup. There's nothing better than that. Liver King out.
So these are filled with maple syrup. Now, when we look at these, it's kind of funny because to me, this does not look like maple syrup at all. Like this literally looks like, if you've ever gotten like a Tren Ace or Tren Enanthate, this might, like it depends on the ace. As far as I remember, I forget the chemistry exactly, but from what I recall, Underground Labs, it's like the length of time it's cooked or something causes, that deep dark red. If you guys have ever gotten like a really, it doesn't even really indicate potency, but I know like back in the day when we wanted to assess potency just anecdotally without actually sending in for HPLC testing, we would just look at the vial and be like, how red is it? And the closer to blood red the Tren was, the happier we were because we just thought it was more potent. And it turns out that is has to do with the preparation and how dark it goes. But in general, you're going to see like golden like oil essentially going as dark as red in the spectrum of Tren Enanthate to Tren Acetate preparations. Like very infrequently do we see, testosterone enanthate or any other synthetic anabolic agent that resembles this. Now, again, it's not like you couldn't make it that way, but in general, it's guys who've used Tren know like it has a bit of a unique look when it's prepared. And to me, this doesn't look like maple syrup at all, bro. Like to me, this looks like actual gear. Like the viscosity of the oil, it's not consistent with maple syrup, like especially for presumably like most people who are using maple syrup are using like really potent shit, not like artificial sweetener laden stuff that's like thin, like Walden Farms quality. They're using like actual like thick maple syrup. It would not look like this. Like you can tell this stuff is not gel-like in structure at all. It's like actually like thin like oil from what I can tell. Like it looks pretty gear-like to me. I'm not saying it is. I think it'd be pretty crazy for him to pull gear and put it like into a fucking piece of meat on camera and just stick it there. But it definitely looks more like gear than it does fucking maple syrup, I'll tell you that. So anyways, he says, stack the 9 tenants, get the free guide for the tenants, blah, 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 get the link in the bio, you get to work, fucking, sick. It's fucking awesome. Yeah. So anyways, interesting thing about this is we've actually talked, and this is a comment on one of his old posts that, I think that, a discussion could be had around this that may be productive, discussing the 9 ancestral tenets and getting a better understanding of what goes into this lifestyle and if it is something that could be replicated for the layman that is not, I don't know, what's the financial resources even involved in supporting this kind of a diet model relative to like standard Western American diet or something like that. I'm not saying you should do a Western American diet, but I mean like even healthy alternatives at a grocery store versus like the shit he has is all like the fresh, organic, like pasture fucking grass fed, like highest quality shit, organ meats, like really hard to get stuff. And his lifestyle too, 2-a-day workouts, like all these things. But ultimately he's telling you to stack the 9 tenets and, follow presumably a more tame version of his lifestyle in order to optimize all your shit. He has expressed interest in, optimization of, biomarkers and whatnot and health in a natural context. And this is something I'd be open to discussing. And it's interesting because he would actually express interest in coming on a podcast with me. So I was like, okay, fucking great. So in this post, if it doesn't bring your blood to a boil, if it doesn't make you question life, strength, health, and how goddamn fortunate you are, then you're yet to work hard enough. You're yet to honor the centuries of struggle endured by our early ancestors. Liver King has been doing this for years, first with the Barbarian. Now, it's kind of interesting, he always refers to himself in the third person. Now with the Super Barbarian. Like imagine if I was just like Derek. Derek makes videos. Derek goes to gym. Derek eats food. It would just be weird, Derek pins ass. Like it's just a fucking odd thing to say. First with the Barbarian, now with the Super Barbarian. Because struggle creates strength and super struggle, well, you can guess what that does. This is how Liver King expresses his highest self. For robust strength, vitality, and real sense of fulfillment, I suggest you do the same. So then if you go down the comment section, you see a whole bunch of comments, a whole bunch of questions. Hell yeah, on Sunday I did my third barbarian. It's getting to be a place I look forward to being. How should I start my journey to live the ancestral lifestyle? He's actually pretty good about responding to comments. Have you started eating liver and bone marrow yet? If you haven't, fucking do it, bitch. Do you get early morning sun every day? Are you connecting your bare feet directly to the earth? Are you touching your butthole to the grass and absorbing the, I don't even know, bro. Grounding. You gotta ground in the morning, guys. Can't miss that shit. Start here, and as your energy, mood, and mental clarity improve, you can embrace all 9 ancestral tenets to become the highest version of yourself. Good luck, Primal. Start low and slow with raw marrow, or go all in. Is there a massive difference between raw and cooked marrow? All right, so here is the comment that is of note. Have you considered doing a podcast with Joe Rogan or More Plate Smart Aids? And if you expand the comments, he replies and he says, why doesn't Joe Rogan or Derek, me, invite Liver King? Love your support, Primal. Thank you for believing in me. I'm here to spread the message of the 9 ancestral tenets so that more great humans can dominate in life. Which reminds me, are you even eating liver yet? Like, what the fuck are you doing even asking me about this shit? Are you eating liver, bitch? What? Tell me the fucking truth. So he says, why doesn't Joe Rogan or More Plate Smart Aids invite Liver King? So expectedly, he literally tags me. I'm like, okay, like this guy's down. Liver King, I actually bought some liver yesterday. I have no idea how safe it is. And I'm like, I comment back. I'm like, let's do it. Let's do a podcast. Like, why wouldn't I? We've talked before, very briefly, but we've talked and, we have overlapping interests. And I do, actually acknowledge the utility of a lot of his diet principles, to be honest. Some of it I think is, obviously not as extreme on his side of the spectrum, of course. However, I think there's things to talk about. I think there's things to discuss that could be of interest. And I have yet to see him do a long form podcast where he goes into, some of the more interesting, insightful questions about this lifestyle in general. And how other people who are in, disease states or suboptimal lifestyles or looking to maximize their vitality, optimize their biomarkers, how these individuals could otherwise go about, transitioning to something more ancestrally congruent or whatever. So I'm like, let's fucking do it, bro. It sounds like a great idea. And he's like, at More Plate Smart Aids, at Liver King, let's fucking go. Liver King, have this guy on, Joe Rogan. Oh my God, cannot wait if this happens. And then 6 weeks passes. Any update on this? And we ended up talking and he said he has some other commitments he wants to take care of first before we get on a podcast. So I don't know if it's still gonna happen, to be honest. It sounded like he was super down in the moment. And then maybe after that, he decided, he was like, you know what? I'm working out twice a day and I'm stacking too many tenants, so I just don't have time for it. So I don't know, man. I know he's, living with the Hadza right now and doing the same thing that Paul Saladino was doing. By the way, another podcast that might be coming up soon, Paul Saladino, we've been talking briefly as well, might end up getting on a podcast together. But yeah, it's something I'd like to see happen, and it may happen in the near future, but we'll see. Kind of the fucking ball's in his court at this point. It was I was ready to go to. I saw this. He's like, why doesn't he invite me? I'm like, okay, let's do it. When are you fucking free, bro? And then he's like, you know what? I actually don't want to now. I'm just like, okay, well, I guess let me know if you still want to at some point, dude. But I think he has a bunch of prior commitments. He actually has a lot of stuff on his plate. He's a busy fucking guy. He owns, I don't even know how the ownership works of these companies, if he's actually one of the owners of Ancestral Supplements or not, or if he has his own supplement company, because there's actually a subreddit thread with a supplement line that's using him as a poster boy. So I don't know if that's his supplement line and Ancestral Supplements. He's an investor and a partial equity holder, or if he just is one of their highest tier affiliates at this point, or what the fucking deal is. But either way, the guy's a busy guy and he's growing his channel incredibly quickly. And we'll see what happens. But if you guys want to see that podcast, let me know. And I guess let him know. He's the one who said, why doesn't he invite me? I fucking did, bro. Let's go. That's it. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, check out my blog, moreplacesmartaids.com. Follow my Instagram at moreplacesmartaids, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. I think I missed one. Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, if I'm on there. BitChute, not on there. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anything else I'm associated with. If you want to support me, It's all in the video description below. My preventative medicine and hormone replacement therapy platform, where I connect you with doctors who represent the same cutting edge literature that I try to stay on top of on my channel, for optimizing your biomarkers, getting your diagnostics done in an elaborate context, not just your baseline, shitty immunoassay, hormone assays and whatnot, getting your basic, thyroid panel, metabolic, hematology, etc. Like, we actually go in depth and show you things like cardiovascular disease risk. These are more obscure markers that need to be, have been extrapolated out of the literature by people who are on the cutting edge. Things like Lp(a), checking, cancer risk through alpha-fetoprotein, things that otherwise go overlooked by most clinics, frankly, won't even tell you about this stuff or even know it exists, it seems. And they also make you get pre-designed panels just to get like high sensitivity testing for like a total T, when you should be able to just add it to your panel separately. We have a self-service lab section where you can build your own panel, or you can use one of the panels pre-designed that I've audited myself and approved. So we have those, as well as a self-service labs, individual biomarker section. You can build your own lab test. It's the most cost efficient and flexible platform, in my opinion, for getting lab work done. And you can do that on your own and get a report through that. There's no, mandatory like doctor's visit after or anything like that. But if you do want to get further medical oversight from individuals who are looking out to optimize your lifestyle, diet manipulation, sleep hygiene interventions, etc., it's not just about HRT at our clinic. We do a variety of other interventions that, focus on the bread and butter before getting into the lifelong pharmaceutical commitments. Like, we try to look at all different aspects possible before getting into what most other clinics would haphazardly throw you on instantly just to make a markup on the medication. So if you want to get connected with Marek Health, you can check it out in the video description below as well. If you want to support me through my pre-workout nootropic formulas and anything else that I create through Gorilla Mind, that's also in the video description below. As well, my recommended diet model for gaining muscle and sports performance, it deviates slightly from Liver King's in that it features significant amounts of carbohydrates as well. These are insulinogenic substrate that are crucial for gaining the maximum amount of muscle possible, in my opinion. Again, I'm pretty sure his diet consists like pretty regularly of potatoes and other stuff. So maybe that's actually not actually that accurate. He does have certain things in his diet that are, not just like pure carnivore at the end of the day. I think he has honey as well, maybe fruit, or maybe that's just Paul Saladino, I'm not sure. But anyways, the diet model I'd recommend that's more broad spectrum and inclusive, I would recommend. It's in the video description below. It's optimized not just for gaining muscle and strength, but it's also for hitting your micronutrient needs and addressing gut health, which is something that goes commonly overlooked. And anything else I'm associated with, the clothing company that sponsors me, anything else that supports me, it's all in the video description below. Thank you guys for watching. Talk to you soon.